Uh, hey everybody. I haven't streamed in quite a while. I've tried to make a few videos here and there when I have time. For those of you who don't know, my gram um was having gallbladder problems. She spent 2 weeks in the hospital, and then when she came home, she was really weak. We've been dealing with trying to get her back to where she was before going to the hospital, strength wise. And so she's needed a lot more care than usual, especially when she first came home. It's getting better. She's getting her strength back slowly, thank goodness. But in that same time frame, I also had to put my cat Vinny to sleep because he had the same cancer that his brother Ezio had a year ago when we put him to sleep. But but I just wanted to go over it really quick, I guess, and maybe shed some light and spread the word in case anyone else who might have not heard it on the news or might have not seen it on the internet um, and used this company that your pet might have been part of this whole disgusting mess. But in 2024, we sent um, Ezio off to be cremated. Mind you, we go to uh, a very reputable veterinarian. They are fabulous vets. They are very, very caring vets. They are always wonderful to our animals. They are compassionate people, and we 100% trust them, right? And they, in turn, trusted this company. And, you know, you don't want to think that there are such despicable people out there. And you wouldn't really expect it with something like this, you know? But yeah, unbeknownst to all of us, this particular pet memorial servicer was dumping thousands of animals into a landfill and keeping the money, and would get back some ashes and basically was mixing animals around. He would give one person the wrong ashes, and then when that person's pet actually came in, would give those ashes to somebody else. It was a constant swap. Uh, this person also has a human funeral parlor, so part of me is so sick on the stomach right now, wondering, like, did this bleed into his human funeral parlor? And could the bag of ashes that were supposed to be my cat possibly human remains? Like, I'm so disgusted right now. So, I'm gonna read a few news articles now. Um, and these news articles are public information, so I don't think there's anything wrong with me um sharing these news articles because they are public. So this article is from the Pittsburgh Post Gazette, one of the big newspapers for Pittsburgh. Um, so Pittsburgh funeral home owner accused of dumping thousands of pets as he was supposed to cremate. Um, the owner of a Hazelwood pet cremation business allegedly dumped thousands of animals into a landfill, ultimately stealing more than $650,000 from pet owners who, unbeknownst to them, received the ashes of random animals instead of those of their own pet. Patrick Roy Vereb, the owner of Eternity Pet Memorial, is charged with theft, receiving stolen property, and 8 counts of deceptive business practices. Charges against the 70-year-old, who also owns and operates Vereb Funeral Home, were filed Monday by State Attorney General. Mr. Vereb neglected his duty of care by deliberately and repeatedly betraying his customers who wanted a dignified service for their beloved dog or cat, Mr. Sunday said in a video statement. Someone who answered the phone at the office of Mr. Vereb's attorney said the firm does not give comments on cases. At least 6,500 pets that were supposed to be cremated between 2021 and 2024 never were, according to the charges. Eternity Pet contracted with at least 20 veterinary clinics in the region, and it also accepted walk-ins and individual clients. Affected pet owners can fill out a form on the Attorney General's website to keep up to date with the case and offer information about their pet at. The website also includes a list of veterinary offices that contracted to use Mr. Vereb's services. The business offered 2 types of services: common burials, in which pets would be buried together, ostensibly in a pet cemetery, and private cremation, in which a pet would be individually cremated and the ashes returned to the owner. Mr. Vereb, according to the complaint, told investigators that the crematorium often took too long to return remains if a pet's cremation wasn't complete within a week. Mr. Vereb would give the pet owner some of the ashes that he had on hand to make them feel good for the day, if nothing else, he allegedly said. When the particular pet's ashes did come in, he would then use them as a fill-in for another pet. For common burials, Mr. Vereb told investigators he hadn't used local pet cemeteries in a while, according to the complaint. Instead, he dumped the animals in a landfill. Investigators said an analysis of records showed Mr. Vereb dumped thousands more animals into the landfill than those who were slated for a common burial. Just under 500 pets were supposed to be buried during the time frame analyzed, investigators said, and those pets combined weighed just under 27,000 pounds. Receipts from the landfill show that Mr. Vereb actually discarded more than 170,000 pounds of animals during that time. Mr. Sunday called Mr. Vereb's alleged conduct abhorrent and disturbing. Instead of proper cremations, burials, and returns of ashes to consumers, he took thousands of animals to a landfill for disposal. Mr. Vereb was arraigned Monday afternoon and released on his own recognizance. A preliminary hearing is scheduled. This is from WTAE, which is Pittsburgh's one news channel. It definitely destroys my faith in humanity. Pet owners react to charges against funeral owner who allegedly gave wrong ashes to families. Thousands of pet owners across the Pittsburgh area are left wondering what happened to their animals' remains after the state attorney general announced charges against the owner of a local funeral home. More than 6,500 pet owners across Allegheny, Armstrong, Washington, and Westmoreland counties who used the funeral home Eternity Pet didn't receive the burial and cremation services they paid for. According to Sunday, the owner, 70-year-old Patrick Vereb, allegedly disposed of many pets at a landfill and gave customers the ashes of other unknown animals. A gentleman of New Kensington is concerned that he is one of those 6,500 plus victims since he used the service when his beloved boxer died in September of 2023. His vet took care of all that, but unbeknownst to us, the company they were using was employing these tactics, they told Action 4 News. According to the Attorney General, nearly a dozen veterinary practices and businesses worked with his office to confirm Verib collected at least $657,517 in fees paid by pet owners. A criminal complaint detailed first-hand accounts from employees who grew suspicious about Verib's practices. Employees told investigators Verib said only larger pets were to be taken to the crematorium and said the smaller pets would be taken to a different crematorium. According to the complaint, employees noticed none of the animals under 30 pounds had tag numbers, which was the number given to the animal at the crematorium. Investigators also learned from employees that large dogs who were supposed to be buried were often cremated. The complaint said Verib claimed the crematorium took too long to return the remains and admitted to giving owners ashes from other animals to make them feel good for the day, if nothing else. I don't know how this man can live with himself knowing what he did to so many families, and in their worst moment. How do you do that? Asked Brittany Kane. Kane is feeling the heartbreak from losing her pet rabbits all over again. She said using the service in 2020 when her rabbit Duke died, and then again in 2023 following the death of her rabbit Raleigh. She said the first experience was positive, but the second time was a different story. Kane paid to receive Raleigh's ashes and fur clippings, but she said she is now unsure if they were even from the right animal. It definitely destroys my faith in humanity a little more. Kane said, definitely a little dimmer, Dave, for sure. Verib is now facing felony charges, including theft by deception, receiving stolen property, deceptive business practices. They tried to contact them by phone, text, and email, but haven't heard back. Of course. Why would they want to answer the phone now? Funeral home owner allegedly dumped pets in landfill after charging for cremations. A Pittsburgh funeral home owner is accused of stealing hundreds of thousands of dollars from people who paid for pet burial and cremation services. According to the Pennsylvania Attorney General, thousands of dogs and cats were improperly disposed of after their owners paid for cremations, burials, and other services. Those services were to be provided by the funeral home and Eternity Pet Memorial owned by 70-year-old Patrick Verib. Those services amounted to more than $650,000 between 2021 and 2024, according to officials. According to a criminal complaint, employees said Verib instructed them to explain the different packages available to the pet owners' families, including common burial service, private cremations, and paw prints and fur clipping of the animals. The employee said Verib told them to stress that they do private cremation as opposed to communal cremations, the complaint stated. They said pet owners often asked about getting their own pets' remains back, saying they were instructed by Verib to tell them once EPM received a pet, it would be given a tag with the pet's name and the family's last name on it. Oh, this is making me sick. At cremation, the complaint said the pet was said to get a metal tag with a number to further ensure the remains were marked correctly. A signed cremation certificate was also said to be given to the pet's owner, along with the ashes, which enforced the belief that the ashes were the remains of their actual pets. The following employee statements: an investigation revealed Verib would take money in exchange for services, then dump many of the pets in a landfill and give customers ashes with other or unknown animals. The complaint said EPM employees created and maintained a spreadsheet of invoices sent to the vets that contained the pets' names, date of death, and cost of services following their request for cremation. According to officials, the pets were given to EPM directly from those who purchased services or through area vets. Following the investigation, more than 6,500 victims have already been identified. The Attorney General's office states those victims are from multiple western Pennsylvania counties. The case is disturbing and will cause devastation and heartache for many Pennsylvanians. Our pets are members of our families, and this defendant betrayed and agonized pet owners who entrusted him to provide dignified services for their beloved cats and dogs. He is facing multiple charges, including deception, fraudulent business practices, and involving stolen property. So, yeah, that is the bullshit that we're now going through when it rains, it pours. And I can only hope that Vinny went somewhere else and not there. You know, like we're we literally just lost a pet, last month, the end of last month. Or no, this month. I don't even remember. It wasn't that long ago. My brain is so fried right now. But, we just had to put a cat to sleep for cancer, and we're finding this out. And it's like, oh boy. You think you're doing something good. I don't even know how to phrase it. Like with the cat that we sent out a year ago. The idea was that in getting him cremated, I would keep him until his brother passed away, and then his brother cremated, and then put them together again. That they could be together again. And then the idea was to bury them together. But now I don't even know if the ashes I have are my cat. And knowing that this man had a human funeral parlor, like I'm sorry, but if he was that deceptive with pets, who knows what he was doing with humans? If I were them, I'd be investigating the other side of the business as well, because for all I know, I have a bag of human remains. And I hope that's not the case. I really, really do. I really, really do, because I am disgusted right now. And I don't even know what to do. I just hope that my vet was aware of the situation before we took Vinny in, and that Vinny was sent somewhere else, and that we will genuinely get Vinny back at least. But then my brain has to wonder how many pet parlors out there are doing this? How many pet parlors out there are lying to people and telling them, here's your cat back, and or here's your dog back, or here's your rabbit back, and it's not, you know? I cannot believe someone would be that disgusting and that despicable and that wretched of a person that they would take somebody's beloved pet, a member of their family, and just chuck them into a landfill like trash. That is such a despicable thing to do. And I just hope that there is justice for all the families involved. You know, I don't know what the court's going to decide. I don't know what they're going to be able to prove or not prove. I don't know. I don't know how this will end, but it's just very upsetting for me and my family knowing that more than likely Vinny won't be with his actual brother. But when we do bury them together, it'll be more symbology than them actually being together. And that really sucks. Anyway, if you're from the greater Pittsburgh area and you sent your pet for cremation between 2021 and 2024, you should definitely contact your veterinarian and ask them about the situation if they haven't already reached out to you. It's a sad day for people in Pittsburgh who love their pets. And I hope we all can get some justice and find some peace. That's all for now.